Ever heard of Mixel Rush? Probably not. But I hold the world record for the fastest completion, and I'm here to tell you why it's way more speedrunnable than you expect. Part 1. What the fuck is a Mixel Rush? Mixel Rush is a mobile autorunner released in 2015 by LEGO and Cartoon Network. The game is based on their animated series called The Mixels. And from the word autorunner alone, you might think, oh, it's like Super Mario Run or Super Meat Boy Forever, even though this game came out earlier than both of them. So what makes this game so more unique than any other autorunner? Well, let me show you. Your main goal in Mixel Rush is simple. Reach the end of each level and flip a switch to stop the Mixel Storm from getting you. And you might be wondering, what is the Mixel Storm? Well, it's the chaotic wave of destruction that is constantly chasing you. If it catches up to you, you're done. So yeah, you gotta move. In order to avoid a G-check from the Mixel Storm, you can do a few things. You can collect Mixels and items. You can play items or Mixels. You can combine Mixels to make a mix or a max. You can destroy obstacles by rapidly tapping onto them, and there are Mixel specific floors. I will go each of these individually. Let's start with the HUD. You got 10 slots at the bottom of your screen, where you can store Mixels and the items you collect. When you come across a Mixel or an item during a run, just tap onto them and it will instantly pop into one of those slots, simple as that. And if you want to use a Mixel or an item, you drag and drop it. Now, let me talk about the main thing you will be doing, mixing Mixels. You can combine any Mixel by dragging and dropping onto another Mixel on your slot. And while mixed, you will be much faster compared to a non-mixed Mixel. But what happens if you collect 3 Mixels of the same color or tribe? Well, that's when things get really fun. You can combine them to create a max, a powerful form that can destroy through any obstacle and moves way faster than a normal mixer or even a regular mix. And here's something I really appreciate. You don't need to know anything about the shop or the characters to understand how the game works. The Mixels are color coded, which makes it super easy to tell which ones belong together. It's a smart design choice that makes the game way more accessible, even if you've never seen a single episode. But this color coding isn't just helpful for new players, it actually plays a big role in speedrunning too. Sometimes you need to quickly glance at your HUD to see if you have the right colors to make a max or to find the exact mix you need to clear a specific area. In high speed runs, being able to instantly recognize Mixels by color makes a huge difference. Moving on to obstacles. You'll come across 2 main types of obstacles that block your path, and if you don't deal with them quickly, the Mixel Storm will catch up and end your run. These obstacles come in 2 flavors: ground obstacles, which you break by rapidly tapping on them to smash through, and air obstacles, where you have to pump air into a balloon to lift the obstacle out of the way. These obstacles block your progress, so you need to clear them fast as possible, especially if you're speedrunning. If you can't destroy them quickly, you'll end up losing valuable seconds, which can make or break a run. Luckily, we got a few tools to help us destroy or avoid the obstacles. The lightning remote, which instantly destroys a nearby obstacle. The magic wand, which lets you teleport forward, skipping the obstacle entirely. And of course, if you're using a max, it can just smash through everything in its way. What I really like is that the game gives you multiple ways to deal with these obstacles, but also forces you to think fast. Do you use that item or max right now to get past an obstacle quickly, or do you hold on to it for something harder coming up? That kind of quick decision making adds a nice layer of strategy, especially when you're trying to go fast. Lastly, there are these special colored floors. Each one gives you a speed boost, but only if you're using a Mixel that matches that color. If you don't have the right Mixel, you'll move slower, which gives the Mixel Storm a chance to catch up. Sometimes the game even throws 2 different color floors back to back, which means you need to mix the right Mixels ahead of time and switch at just the right moment to keep your momentum going. It adds another layer of strategy and keeps you on your toes, especially in a speed run. Now, let me talk about the levels and the worlds of Mixel Rush. In total, the game has 9 worlds, each with 6 levels, and every world includes a secret level. To unlock it, you need to beat all regular levels in that world with a free star. Or, if you're a bit of a cheater, you could just buy the Lego sets, enter the codes that come with them, and unlock the secret levels that way as well. In order to get these free stars, you need to complete the level's objectives, and once you do it, you will get a card, and you can view these cards at the title screen. The first 5 levels in each world follow the classic formula: reach the end before the Mixel stone catches you. But on the 6th level, the final one in each world, your goal changes. The roles have been swapped. Now you have to chase the Mixels while they run away from you, and you have to catch them before they escape with the lever. Otherwise... However, in 2 specific worlds, level 6 becomes a full-on boss fight. The first is in Infinite Land, where you take on Major Mixel. You have to chase the cloud ship and hit him whenever he pops up around it. The second boss fight is in Globe Corp Land, also on level 6. It starts the same way. You're chasing the cloud ship and attacking Major Nixel, but once you do enough damage, the back of the ship opens, revealing King Nixel. That's when you need to rapidly tap onto him to finish the fight. But once the cloud ship takes enough damage, it goes into the background and shoots off Mixels as obstacles that you have to destroy. Now, before I dive into speedrunning, I want to quickly mention the soundtrack, because holy shit is it underrated. It's so good. Just listen to some of these. And my personal favorite theme, Infinite Land. Every time I hear the soundtrack, whether I'm speedrunning it or casually just listening to it, I never get tired of it. It's so energetic and upbeat that it always pumps me up and keeps me in the zone. If you got the time, I really recommend checking out the full OST. It's honestly way better than you expect for a mobile game. Anyway, now that I've given an overview of how the game works, let's talk about why it's so addicting to speedrun. Part 2. It's speedrunning again. Now, this is the part where the game shines extremely bright for me. Speedrunning Mixel Rush is where everything just clicks. The mechanics, the pacing, it all just works together in a really satisfying way. For one, you're in control of the speed. Most auto runners push you along a fixed pace, but on Mixel Rush, it gives you the tools to go faster. So the better you play, the faster you move, which creates this amazing feedback loop that rewards skillful and aggressive play. Then there's the mixing system. Choosing the right Mixel at the right time or going for a max when you need to break through obstacles. It turns every level into a fast-paced puzzle. You're constantly making split-second decisions, analyzing what's coming next, and reacting in real time. This adds a great layer of multitasking and strategy, and that's something I really enjoy. And yeah, I know some autorunners involve quick thinking and multitasking, but in Mixel Rush you're doing it way more frequently and you're not pressing just one button. Then there's the floor colors and item usage, which adds even more layers to the game. You have to memorize when a certain color boost appears or when it's worth using a lightning remote or a magic wand to skip an obstacle. This gives you tons of opportunities to optimize your routes and allows you to experiment, which is a huge part of what makes a good speedrunnable game. And finally, the levels are short and you can reset levels quickly and experiment with different strats, as I said before. Overall, this game is a perfect speedrunnable game. Solid gameplay, fast decision making, and tons of rooms of optimization. And That was strange. What was that? Anyway, it was probably nothing. What is happening? What is happening? What is this? Why does this keep happening to me? Stop it!
One eternity later.
Okay, we need to talk about something very important that honestly makes speedrunning this game a pain in the ass sometimes, and that is, or as I like to call it, the reason my personal best isn't even better. Now, let me talk about the merp. Yeah, that thing. In Mixel Rush, there's a small chance that when you mix two Mixels, instead of getting a mix, you get a merp. It's random. And when it happens, it's horrible to your run. Merps are incredibly slow. They completely kill your speed. And some people might say, oh, why not just use a different mix? Yeah, except that one might merp as well. And you're also burning your resources trying to fix a problem the game threw at you with no goddamn warning. And when you're speedrunning, that randomness can completely ruin your run, especially if you're saving a mix or a max for another section of the level. The only way to fix this is to swap in a single Mixel or go for a max. But again, that's wasting resources just to deal with bad luck. And look, I get it, it's a cute reference to the show, but here when you're in a personal best attempt and a merp happens, it can completely ruin your perfect run. Also, bonus run, why did they use the merp from the Hi-Fi episode? Out of all other designs, they chose this one. It is one of the worst episodes of Mixel and it's here ruining my runs. And it doesn't stop there. When a mix ends, because yes, mixes have a timer on the bottom of their mix, it turns back into one of the two Mixels that you used to mix. And guess what happens when that happens? Right at the worst possible moment. Okay, imagine you're running through a section with two different color floors back to back, and at that exact moment your mix ends. Suddenly you're stuck with the wrong color Mixel on the wrong floor and your speed drops and you just sit there like, cool, love this game, thanks RNG. And don't get me started with the game crashes and visual glitches. And you know what, just watch. Listen, if I tried to list every single visual and game-breaking bug, we'd be here all week. Even the official Mixels wiki has an entire section dedicated to this game's bugs and visual glitches. That should tell you something. Okay, look, I know the game has a lot of flaws and issues, but let's be honest, every game has its flaws, even the ones we really love. And I don't blame Mixel Rush too hard for its issues, because this game has been stopped getting updates back on October 1st, 2015. This game is about to be 10 years old this year, and it has been delisted years ago, so the only way to play it is either through an emulator, sideloading it, or if you're lucky, having it saved on your purchase history, which thankfully I do. The reason why I wanted to speedrun this game and make a video about it in the first place was out of nostalgia. I grew up playing Calling All Mixels and Mixel Rush on my parents' iPads, and I love both of these games. And when I found the Mixel Rush on my purchase history, I downloaded it, played it, and then I wondered if there were any speedruns of this game. And when I checked speedrun.com, nothing. The game wasn't even listed on speedrun.com. Until I submitted, of course. I felt that the game was forgotten, which definitely is because of a certain other game in the franchise. And every time I see people discuss about Mixels and their video games, it's always Calling All Mixels. Mixel Rush barely gets any mention or doesn't even get mentioned at all. And Calling Mixels got added to speedrun.com pretty early, but this game, it just got kinda overshadowed by its older brother and was completely slept on. So, I wanted to bring some justice to Mixel Rush by making this video, getting it listed on speedrun.com and hopefully encouraging people to give it a shot and play the game. I already made the website for speedrunning it in speedrun.com. So please, if you have the time, play it. Try speedrunning it. Let's give this game the attention it truly deserves. Thank you for watching.